Red Star's final match of the 2023-24 Champions League comes at a defeat to Manchester City. So as a whole, one draw and 5 losses from this year's Champions League. Obviously, a lot more expected from the boys in the Champions League due to the money spent this summer in bringing in players who could help us get to that next level. Um, and you would think that we would at least make Europa League this season, but that didn't happen. Um, First and foremost, I'm under the weather a little bit, so if you see me taking a little sip of water, I've had a bad cough the last week or so. Wanted to start from the starting lineup. No real surprises. I think the only real kind of, I don't want to say questionable, but I guess surprise for me at least was Geller Kanga starting in midfield with Huang. Apart from that, three at the back again. I wasn't a fan of this. It feels like we keep going with the same recipe that has proven not to really work for us. Yet again, um, Man City went with a roster with a lot of second team players. I guess if you want to say reserves, a lot of young players as well, which was expected. They're already through. They're already finishing first, so it was kind of expected that this would happen. Um, Quickly to get into the goals, the first Man City goal, Hamilton did an extraordinary job. I think the way that he kind of, with one move, just got rid of Dragovic out of the way and scored, I think was really impressive for a young player. I don't know how old he is. I'm assuming he's 19, 20. That was a really quality finish from, again, a 19, 20-year-old, I guess, a teenager if he's still 19, but a very, very nice finish by him. Uh, the second goal was, again, Oscar Bob just kind of working his way through the Red Star lineup and scoring. And the thing is that I haven't liked at all with this team is we let, no matter who we're playing, we let them have the ball and we don't challenge until said player gets to the 18-yard box, and then we try to do something to where we attempt to stop him or what have you. You can't do that against the best team or best teams in the world. That's just, you're not going to be able to do that. They're just so good and they can move so quickly and they're so fast that doing something like that, um, you simply it's not going to work, and it's not going to work. And we let him do whatever he wanted, and he ended up scoring a beautiful goal to put them up 2-0. Um, the first goal that Red Star scored, I should get to Kosta Nedeljkovic. Again, for a 17-year-old, I thought he played really well today. I thought he played really well against young boys as well. Just couldn't score that goal, but I thought that he played well today. And that chance that he had in the first half, I feel really sorry for him that he didn't score it, because he really does deserve it. And he's been the growth that we've seen from him from the start of the season to now is exceptional. I fully expect him to start every match at right back or right wing back until the end of the season. And then I think the club's going to assess what they're going to do with him at that point. If I were him, I would still stay at the club. At 17-year-old, to leave that young, I think is way too early. Domestic players shouldn't leave until they're 20, 21, 22 years of age, depending on when you're thrusted into the starting lineup. I just don't think that should happen. Back to the game. Kwang's goal, I think excellent 1-2 play from Bukhari to Kwang. I actually thought Bukhari was really good today. I've criticized him in the past. A little bit selfish this season, which he didn't display last year with the club. He's been really selfish this season. I thought the layoff to Huang and the finish from Huang was exceptional to cut the lead back to 2-1. 3-1 penalty by Jiga, I think, was very stupid, tugging on, I think it was Hamilton yet again. There's just no need to put your hands on a player. He's in the 18-yard box. You kind of, you're dragging him the entire time. He sells it to the referee, he sold it really well. Clear cut penalty. Calvin Phillips puts it away. Let me go back a little bit. There was a play at, I believe it was at 2-1, where there was a large amount of pressure put onto Ortega, who was in goal today for Manchester City. He laid the ball off to Calvin Phillips, who's at the top of the box. Oleinka stole the ball off Calvin Phillips, and the referee blew for a free kick. So, first of all, it wasn't a free kick, or I should say a foul. It wasn't a foul. Calvin Phillips saw how quickly Oleinka was closing him down, And as soon as Olenka got close enough to Calvin Phillips to where Calvin Phillips could sell the foul, he did, and that's exactly what he did, and the referee gave it to him. So, and it was interesting because Olenka took that ball, and there was literally he was on a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and you want like I'm not saying he's scoring 100% because I've seen Red Star players miss from a yard and a half out, so I'm not gonna say that he would have scored, but he was in excellent position to tie the match. 3-1, Mijatovic gets a chance that he hits the post on. Listen, he's been exceptional this year for Red Star, and there's rumors that he's leaving in the winter. He wants, from what I've read recently, he wants to go to Feyenoord. Zenit was another club that was interested. He doesn't want to go to Russia. He wants to go Feyenoord. I applaud him for that if he wants to go Feyenoord because he's gonna. First of all, he's going to get minutes to play there. Secondly, they're going to develop him as a player and he's going to get even better, but his finishing needs to get better. He scored 3 game-winning goals for Red Star this season, but his finishing from that position needs to get better. From 4 or 5 yards out, you need to be able to test the goalkeeper and not hit the post. And there was another free kick later on after that where uh, it was ruled an offside, but he missed from about a yard and a half out to 2 yards. Like those are the ones that you have to score. You have to be more clinical in front of goal, which I didn't think he was in those cases. And that's just part of his game that he has to get better. Just stop quickly. If you guys like the content that you're seeing, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So those are the things that he has to work on 100%. NDI today did absolutely nothing. I really don't know what to say. I don't like to judge players. I like to judge players after they've been at a particular club for at least a year. So that's when I like to draw my conclusions. For example, Michal Mudryk last season was laughable for him. He was awful when he joined Chelsea. This season he's been a little bit better. You can argue it's hard to get any worse than what he was last season, but I need to see a player play at a club for 1 year, at least 1 year. Some of the he's missed way too many sitters. Trukadicki, the first match he misses from literally a yard out. 2 key misses against Young Boys last week, and today is he's just nowhere to be seen. And some of that has to do with the players that involved him, right? They need to do a better job of getting him the ball. This next 4 or 5 months is crucial for him going forward. So that's all I'll say about NDI. Huang, I thought, played his best match today, and it's not just because he scored. He's getting better and better match in, match out for Red Star. Covered a lot of miles today, yet again. Scored and assisted. Katai's getting to the second goal. Katai's second goal was off a excellent corner kick taken by Huang. Katai's header, we're taking no chance of stopping it. Happy for Katai, happy for Huang who gets the assist. But he's been getting, like I said, better and better as each match progresses. And I think with the performances of, and like I'll say, Mijatovic missed the 2 sitters, but he's there. He's mixing it up. He's pressuring the goalkeeper, pressuring the back line. He's doing what's asked of him, and I think he's probably doing more than what's asked of him. Kosan Dekovic really good again today. I preach that we let the young kids get more of a chance to play, especially in the second half of the season. Players like Knežević, Šljivić today, who scored against Man City's U19s, Andrija Maksimovic, who's only 16. These are all players who need more of a chance to play because they're literally not any worse than the players that we're currently fielding out there. The players that we've paid a lot of money for, the players that we brought in on high salaries, these kids are no worse than those players, and they deserve a chance. If we had players out there who were performing at the highest levels and they were really changing matches, then the tune might be a little different. But the fact that they're not any worse than the players that are out there, tells you something. And we need to now more than ever rely heavily on the players that we've pushed through our own school, and we need to give them a chance to play for the A squad. And we've seen that in the cup matches that we've had throughout the first. We're only two matches into the cup, so we're in round 3 now. We've played very well, and the kids have really shown up and they've scored a number of goals. We need to give them more of a chance to play. I don't know who else I can really point out today. I didn't think Dragovic was that good today. Giga was good up until the penalty, but I feel like he has these moments where he kind of logs off a little bit, and that's what costs him in creating chances for the opposition. Um, and to be fair, he played League Two football last season in France, so now he's from playing in the French league, one of the worst teams in the French league, to playing Champions League now. It's a quite step up for them. Quick comments about Man City. I still thought, even though that they had a bunch of the reserves and a bunch of the kids playing out there, I thought that they were exceptional today. The way that they control the match and dictate tempo is unbelievable. There was a pass in the first half. Um, I want to say it was Akanji who put, I think maybe Mateus Nunes through. I mean, it's a pass from his own 18-yard box to past midfield, and it's just one pass that led him to the goal, and nothing came of it. But he just took three or four players out of the equation totally, and it's just, I mean, that's the quality, right? When you play a team that's worth about 2 billion, that's what you're going to get, and that's the quality that you're going to get. So absolutely, they were really good today. um, I thought that the young players played really well, like Bob and Hamilton and Rico Lewis. I thought were really good today and strong, and the back line, to be fair, had a lot of their regulars, but I think that they played well today, and it just like looked like they wanted to get out of this match unscathed and no one injured, which I think that they accomplished. And yeah, their class. And when you take a look that they didn't even use, Julian Alvarez and Holland and Doku, who's been really good for them this season, and no goalkeeper in Ederson, and they're going to get De Bruyne back soon. Bernardo Silva played, what, like 10 minutes? Still a very quality side. So a disappointing finish to Red Stars. Champions League campaign, the only thing you could say is that at least we scored 2 goals against Manchester City, if you want to look at that as a bright spot. But yeah, not really how we wanted it to end. Thought Europa League at minimum we would get, which we didn't get, and deservedly so. We just didn't take our chances. Let me know below in the comments what you guys thought about Red Stars' Champions League campaign, and Barak Bahar's job. Is it safe, or do we need to look elsewhere for manager? Thank you, guys.